Hey guys, and welcome back to the briefing room. It's San Diego Comic Con weekend. What? So, you know what that means? Another Robotech A Look to the Future panel. The panel starts off with the Robotech Gives Back initiative, which right now is just the script book that helps the Children's Hospital in LA. But that could be all it'll ever be, and I'd be fine with it. See, I haven't really talked about this, but my youngest daughter actually spent some time in a children's hospital after her birth. They then start to talk about the uh, live action movie at Sony Pictures, and it's currently in active development. Now, at this point, I'll believe it when I see it. Gianni Minari and Mark Canton are still producing, and the writer situation is non-existent. There is no writer for the movie at this point right now. News broke last a couple days ago actually about a new director for the live action movie, but I decided to wait till this video to talk about it. Andy Muschietti is now directing the Robotech live action movie. He is currently directing the It remake, and I watch Jedi Council, from Collider Video. It's a Star Wars show where they talk about the Star Wars movies and so forth. But they do other shows where they talk about other movies and so forth. They just talk movie news. That's their thing. And they covered this story. This was actually their headlining story, the change of directors. And one of their people, Ken Napzok. Ken Napzok is also a Robotech fan, and his sentiments about the live action movie kind of reflect mine, and so he probably would say it better than I would, as you can see from me stumbling. He probably would say it better than I would, so as far as his feelings about the live action movie, they're pretty much the same as mine, so I'll leave the link down below of that video so you can go see it. Again, it's the headlining story, it's the first story, so if you don't want to watch the rest, just watch that. It's Robotech. You're here for Robotech anyway, right? As far as I've heard a couple people mention that they're hiring, James Wan had a background in horror films, and then, the It remake is a horror film. And so a lot of people are talking about how they are focused on horror film directors, whatever. And I actually think that's a good thing. It's with horror films, a good horror film will have good atmosphere. You have to. Most horror films hinge on the atmosphere. You've got to feel uneasy throughout the movie. You don't know what's going to happen. You're on the edge of your seat. It's. I said you're gonna feel uneasy. That's the point. You're supposed to be scared, and anyone can do a jump scare. Jump scares are cheap. They're cheap. So a good horror film will always have a good atmosphere. And so the fact that they are hiring directors from a genre that focuses so much on atmosphere means that they don't want to make just another Transformers. They want it to be something more. But again, that's the live action movie. We've been hearing it for years. So I'm going to go ahead and scoot along to the next section. So they start talking about Robotech on streaming services, such as the Netflix and Amazon Video and, of course, Crackle, Sony's platform. And they talk about them being on that. We've all heard that before, you know, that's not a new thing. It's great for new fans coming in, but as far as old fans, we've heard it before. We've probably already used it before. So there's not a whole lot new there. However, they did mention, and they mentioned at Anime Expo too, the 3 Japanese shows, Super Dimension Fortress Macross, Super Dimension Calvary Southern Cross, and Genesis Climber Maspiata, whatever you want to call it. All 3 of them are on Amazon Video in their Japanese forms with with English subtitles. So I looked into it. You either have to have Amazon Prime or you can pay 99 cents per episode, but at that point it'd be cheaper and more cost effective just to get Prime because you get all the other extra stuff with Prime. But it's cool that they have the Japanese forms. That's a nice little treat for people that have been fans for a while, so they can see the other side of the show. So 80s Tees is releasing more stuff. They've been around for a while. Their stuff all looks great. I really like some of the flight fleeces they're showing off that are going to come out. I really like the chibi shirts. Those look kind of cool. They already have it posted on their website, but they have a label, like a Jack Daniels label thing, but with Skull Eater. That's pretty cool. Nothing really new there, but I really do like the stuff they're putting out. It's a lot better than the Apparel Harmony Gold used to give us, and it's still available in their store. That stuff's really ordinary and plain. This stuff's kind of more creative and more something people would actually buy. Puni Puni Factory, I think that's how you say it. I'm not sure. They will be producing a line of Robotech plushies. Now, due to very strange circumstance, I have 2 Minmay plushies. It's weird, long story. Maybe I'll do a video talking about it sometime. But yeah, due to strange circumstances, I have 2 of those Minmay plushies. So I guess I'll be the Robotech plushies guy and pick those up. Now, another piece of news that broke a couple days ago that I felt I should cover here instead of there is Robotech's getting its own board game. Yeah, they're getting 2 board games actually, and Strange Machine Games is making them. And the first Ace Pilot will take about 20 minutes to play and will contain 100 tokens, 8 hero cards, 8 upgrade cards, and 5 custom roll dice. Hurl yourself into Zentradi attack wave. Come out on top as the best RDF pilot. Use available resources and push your luck to rack up a high score. This involves taking chances and cutting off your rivals. With an insightful battle plan and some luck, you'll be forever known as the best pilot in the fleet. Attack on the SDF-1 contains 160 tokens, 3 game boards, 7 hero boards, 4 reference boards, and 150 game cards, and 14 custom roll dice. You are playing the heroic characters of the venerable Super Dimension Fortress 1, also known as the SDF-1. Players must defend the SDF-1 against continuous waves of Zentradi attackers. As a hero, you will be forced to do battle, repair damage, and manage your resources. Tough decisions and sacrifices will be required to protect the SDF-1. I play board games on a fairly regular basis. Recent events have made it so I haven't played it in a while, but I play on a fairly regular basis. So I will definitely be picking both of these up, and I'll probably try to do a example game video. So keep your eye out for that. There's a Robotech mini arcade game coming out from Coleco. Not exactly the kind of video game that fans have been asking for, but there's no details on it, and arcade games are fun, so we'll have to see what that all is about. Insurgo and Super 7 have deals with Robotech to make skateboards and muscle figures, respectively. Now, I'm not I'm not a skater, and muscle figures were before my time, so I'm not familiar with either of those. They sound cool. I might pick up the muscle figures because I actually have the space I can justify those. I don't really have space for a skateboard in my apartment. So I might pick up those because I can justify those. Super 7 also is making some Robotech shirts too, so keep an eye out for those. But so 1/60th transformable alphas have been announced by Toynami. No real big surprise there. They like to reissue those transformable figures every year or two, so not really any big surprise there, but still kind of cool, I guess. The Harmony Gold now has a deal with Studio One or Prime One Studios. Sorry, Prime One Studios, and they make high-end figures, like statues and figures and so forth. And Robotech is going to be made by them. Now, a website was provided, so I went to the website, and it's entirely in Japanese, so I had to use the translate feature on Chrome and everything. There's a couple of things that I noticed while looking at their site. Few things. First, they have amazing figures. The one that really stood out to me was their Wonder Woman figure. That is so nice. That figure just looks so good. But the issues I have is, well, first of all, it says they do not ship outside of Japan. And the second is, look at that price. Jeez Louise. But the problem is, Robotech's not available in Japan because of the whole Big West Harmony Gold stuff. So Robotech's not available in Japan. So they have a very small, if any, audience. And this company, every figure I looked at, it said the same thing. Does not ship outside Japan. So they're going to have to find some way of translating that. And also, I'm as big of a fan as anybody. But that's a pretty steep price for what amounts to just a figure. This is what you guys get. You ask for high quality stuff, they give you high quality stuff, and it's pricey. So that's something you'll have to deal with. Personally, I don't know that I'll be picking them up. From what I see, the stuff's great quality. I would love to have one. I just don't really have a large amount of expendable cash. And there's other things I'd like to get before I get that. So take that as you will. Look into that yourself. Just a couple issues I found, and we'll see. We'll see what the plan is. They have to have a plan involved, right? Kit's concepts, of course, they're the ones making a super deformed Veritex and so forth. They showed off a couple new products. One of them they actually showed off last year, but we're just now hearing a little bit more details about it. They have a new dancing minmay that's going to be coming out, as well as an SDF1. Yeah, please. As far as the dancing minmay, it's such a stupid and kitschy idea. But I love that about it. I love getting this stupid little Nietzsche, kitschy, whatever you want to call it, toys that it's like, why? I love that. I love stupid toys like that. I know I'm saying stupid, but even though I like it, but stupid. You can like stupid. As far as the SDF1, even in my crappy early videos, I've been asking for the cruisers of Robotech. I don't care if they're static or transformable. I just want the cruisers. I want to be able to hold the cruisers and have that in my possession. I love the cruisers just as much as I love the transformable mecha. Give me more of these non-transforming stuff. So, yes please on the SDF1. Thank you for finally giving us that. It's been a long time since Matchbox made their version. So, thank you for that. I've been asking for it, so I'll definitely be picking that up. Whenever money allows me to. They also showed off the 1/6 figures that they've been pushing for a couple years now from Kids Logic, as well as a robot mode SDF1 figure. Have you been watching my videos, Harmony Gold? If so, thanks. Caliber Wings and Northrop Grumman are making 1/72 scale models of F-14s with the Macross designs. They will have retractable wings and be die-cast metal. Now, depending on the cost, I might pick those up. Probably another nerd shelf too, in all honesty. Probably need another one after all of these purchases I'm making in my head. Now, Robotech.com is finally back online with its forums and Infopedia and all that. Now, due to how critical I've been of Harmony Gold and how they just turned it into a shell of a website, I will probably be discussing this I will be discussing this in a different video another day. But I guess kudos to them for making their website not worthless anymore. They also showed the visual archive for that's coming out, as I reported, is coming out September 12th. This visual guide looks amazing, and I've already started saving up the $45+ that I'll need to purchase it. And the final thing they talked about at the panel was the comics. The comics are coming out soon. What is it? 5 days. It's coming out Wednesday. Now, they gave everyone in the attendance a copy of the first issue, as well as an exclusive Comic-Con cover and a vinyl record, which is so cool. I wasn't there, however, so I did not get any of those. However, uh, even though my physical copy will not arrive on time, I did also purchase a digital copy. So, because I purchased digital copy, I will have a review, a non-spoiler review out the day it comes out, and I'll probably do like a spoiler review where I discuss in depth the comic in the various pages and so forth, and how I feel about it and so forth. That will be coming out later. I'm not sure how much later, but it will be. That review will also be coming out at some point before the second issue. But it's not out yet. I wasn't there, so I didn't get a copy. So we're SOL there, but whatever, you know. It's gonna be out soon. I will have the non-spoiler out soon, as soon as it comes out. I'll figure it out. I'll let you know what's going on there. But I'm just letting you know I will be getting it that day, and I will be providing those of you that are still on the fence something to influence, not really influence you, something to give you justification to buy it or not buy it. I guess that still is influence, but I will be informing you. How about that? I will be informing you. Is that a good way of putting it? Yes, it is. Overall, I thought this was a great San Diego Comic-Con for them. This was the best that they've had it in several years. I mean, it's been building to this point where they've gotten more and more unique stuff. Like I said, a couple years ago they did the 80s tees, and they've been building it to where it's not just like it used to be, where every year it was, oh, look at these 1/60th transformable figures. Oh, hey, look, here's one RPG book. Oh, hey, let's talk about the Palladium Robotech Tactics that still hasn't come out. Hey, let's give you a soundtrack. It's always been the same exact thing over the span of several years now. And they're finally starting to expand their merchandise to the point where it can actually whet our appetite until we get something more. I can't say whether or not the comics will do anything because I haven't read any yet. But it's gotten to the point where it can appease us until something happens with the live action movie, or until they can get a show or the sequel to the Shadow Chronicles or something out. So kudos to them for finally realizing that status quo just wasn't working, and to build it to this point where I'm actually legitimately excited for this upcoming year because of all the cool stuff that's coming out. But what did you think? Let me know down below what you thought of all the stuff they covered in at Comic-Con. Let me know what you think of the Insurgo, or Insurgo, whatever you want to call it. What you think of the Coleco mini arcade thing. What you think of just everything. Just let me know what you think of each individual item, or about the panel in general. If you like this video, click like, click subscribe, hit the little bell so you can get notified when I post another video, because who has two thumbs and is inconsistent? This guy. But if you like this video, like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff that you do for everybody that says that. And then I also have a Twitter. I also have a Facebook page, but I'm a little bit more active on my Twitter. We have a website. It's somewhat functional. Just let us know what you think. Visit all our stuff. Subscribe. Do all that fun stuff. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you guys later.